Alright folks, welcome to this exciting video where you once again join us on an adventure to explore some World War II history today. And today we've come to Edzell Woods, which is a little village just outside Edzell, and there's some cool World War II history because RAF Edzell Air Base is just literally like a mile that direction, and a lot of this stuff was built at the time like to support the base. And I think a lot of the people that worked on the base stayed in all these houses and stuff. So yeah, today we're exploring that history, which is, it's not just World War II history though, because I think there was, again, the military were here until like 1993 at the base. It was still an active site. And I don't even know what this is, we've just stumbled into the middle.
It's almost like the bricks you used to build the World War II.
Yeah, this looks like an area which had been a hangar or something, potentially. Strange folks, because look at the strange markings at the side of there. What a spot. Anyway, are we going to head kind of, we need to go this direction really.
Yeah.
Is this a school or something? Look, there's the fence. Let's head over this way and see, because we did see a military pillbox. But see how there's like a fence around it? That must have been like a perimeter fence at one time. I don't even know how we got in here folks. We've not even jumped the fence or anything, but it appears we're in what looks to me like a private yard or something here, so yeah, we'll just keep this adventure rolling folks. So this is crazy folks, this path seems to have brought us into this yard, and there's like a vintage fire engine and stuff over there. But you get the feeling here like this is a private kind of yard, so we're just a bit wary. It's like there could be a hole in the fence there, see where that mound of grass is? Because we really need to get to the other side of that fence and head round to the bunkers, because you can see like a pillbox bunker and little air raid shelters and stuff for the road. So yeah, oh maybe this is kind of a park, who would know? There's basketball hoops over here as well. It's insane. If we come back this way we should go and have a look at that vintage fire engine though, because it's pretty cool. Yeah, look, the fence has got a hole in it here. See, when this fence was put in folks, this must have been the original perimeter of the airfield, whereas now, well, the last years it was in operation it got a lot smaller. It was still a massive airfield, but originally it was huge. But yeah, I can see here there is a gap in the fence, but this fence at one time has been designed not to be breached. So the fact we need to get across it is quite an extreme thing. Look, there's like a double fence line over there, do you see it? That could be the original World War II fence at the far side of there. All this could be from a later time. What an adventure folks, we've infiltrated the perimeter. So it's interesting, like, because we've never explored here before, everything's new to us, we're just having to read the land, and we know the general direction we're going, but how to get there is, we're unsure so far folks. This looks like it's been a well-trodden path. Yeah, that must be the original old fence. Check this out here folks, this will be probably the original perimeter fence from the war era, and just check it out, it's still standing strong here. There's some strange kind of cutouts in the wood and stuff, and I can see paths, and I think this wood here has got a few different like air raid shelters and stuff in it. Look at this here, big cement block on the ground. This is like no man's land, look, between the two fences of the airfield. Yeah, check this here. Yeah, I wonder what that's been for, maybe putting a pole in for some sort of like flag, or who knows, could have been anything, maybe a light pole went in the middle of there. Check the old fencing out though, it is cool. Yeah, it's just growing like into that tree now. Insane folks. It's crazy all this history is just abandoned. I think Aberdeenshire Council is like this kind of area here, so Yeah, today it's a bit of Aberdeenshire history, folks. World War II history, and then I think, was it not the US Air Force and stuff that was based as well? Yeah. US Air Force, folks. So it's American history here as well as Scottish and British. And the size of this airfield is blowing my mind, 'cause now I can see around that corner. It's crazy. See, I thought there was a way through the fence from back there. Anyway, folks, we'll update you once we see the next item of interest. There's loads of basketball courts, but look, there's a fire going here. See that? Yeah, there's a stick there, folks, on the ground, burning. So it's like somebody's maintained this area recently. Or they're burning maybe some of the wood which had come down in the recent storms. Because there's so much wood being levelled around the Edzell area. Yeah, look. There's been some sort of little building or that there. Wow. Real history, folks. It's so cool. Like, it would be difficult to climb over one of those fences for sure, eh?
Yeah. Easier looking big enough.
Here we go then, folks. We found a fence crossing here. And this is a crazy bit here because check it out, look, the fence is growing into the tree branch. Watch, don't get impaled on this when you fall. Yeah, folks, we've come to the other side of this. The only reason we ended up in that yard is because that first path we took just walked us straight in. So it is strange how it's like, I don't know if it's public land or somebody's yard, but to the landowners we always come with the greatest respect.
Yeah.
We're documenting some history and
Right there.
oh aye. Channel DJ's just spotted some historical nuggets here on the forest floor. Oh aye, these look like something that's definitely been here from the wartime period, eh? Look at the big loop on that. It's like been big weights, like it's been recently shifted.
Yeah. There's one here as well.
Oh aye. Well, I wonder if a tree or something hit it, eh? You wouldn't think it's the sort of thing you'd be able to shift too easily, like. Insane, folks. A little bit of history right there, just it's been something to do with the airfield. Probably, I would say, if it's sitting here. Yeah, it's interesting. Sometimes you can find other things and then it puts like the pieces of the puzzle together and you can find out what something like that was doing. But they might have been moved from other places and just laid in this one spot. So yeah, let's keep investigating, folks. You can just imagine the old planes and stuff ripping in here in the war. And even up into the 90s, there would have actually been kind of more modern jets and stuff flying in out here. Cool, folks. We love like RAF history and old fighter jets and stuff like that. It is incredible. I wonder if there was any English electric lightnings flying out here. They were absolute beasts of aircrafts. This is crazy, folks. We've just found the first, what looks like an air raid shelter, but it is of massive construction and it's no like the other ones that I've seen at like Montrose Airfield and stuff. This looks like a bigger construction with massive chunks of cement. Some of these were like precast structures. Look, there's another one.
Yeah.
This is crazy, folks. Look, there's another one over here. Right now, folks, we are in the heart of abandoned history right here. And just check it out. I can never believe it when I see this much stuff just in the forest. See, it might have had more earth and stuff over it at one time, so it was more hidden. But obviously that tree wasn't growing there. How crazy is it, the size of that tree? Look at that, the bolts there holding the structure together. Oi! Yeah, I think normally this was like, I don't know if it was an observation lookout or like an emergency escape, but there used to often be a ladder at this end of them so you could climb up. And then often down the middle they had air vents various places, which are probably long gone. Yeah, probably. I'm not sure like if this was for the houses at the village. It's quite a distance away if it is. It might have been for soldiers or something stationed at this end of the airfield. Whoa, I nearly slipped, folks. Imagine the soldiers running in here when they thought that they were about to come under attack. Wow, look at the cement structure, folks. Oh look, the sun scored in there. 61, folks, so... Or B1. Oh look. 81. 6181. So whoever knows anything about the history, folks, that could be a regiment number or something, or some historical number. Look, there's a wee slug crawling about on that bolt there. Anyway, let's head in here. I'll get my torch switched on. Here, it's in pretty good condition.
I know.
Oh look, there's a door frame here. This must have been from the original World War II door that would have been in this area. Wow, look at that old bucket. This is so cool, folks. I'm just trying to figure out here, like, I don't think it's been painted or anything. This is similar to what we saw when we were at the Edzell Airfield last week. This is like the little bunker which was at, remember the tunnels on the fighter pen? There was one of these at the door, and it was like a precast structure as well. See, a cool thing about this though, look how mint it is on the floor and stuff like that. Yeah, folks, that's the original cement floor with no dirt and earth. It's obviously a bit of garbage in it, but normally we places like this, they're full of like earth and moss and just horrible wet stuff like that. But yeah, what a cool place. And there's the view looking at there, folks, look at that. Yeah, I think the ladder would have been attached up at those two bays. And there's just been stuff probably thrown in here over the years. Wow, folks. I'm always blown away when we find stuff like this, and like it's cool to keep finding new stuff every week that I've never videoed before. Look at the view looking down that way. I'll let you get a picture while I'm in here. So I just got a couple of photographs there, folks, inside this magnificent World War II structure. And it's so cool to document these things because as they fall down, again, they get lost and the history of them gets lost. Yeah, it's been crazy. Like, think when that door frame was put on there, this whole structure would have looked cool. Absolutely mint and brand new. Okay, now nature's just taken back over. It's absolutely insane. See what I'm actually saying? There must have been like a bit of the base here at one time because the cement bases for buildings here. Wow, so this is what these air raid shelters were for. There's clearly been maybe like a barracks here for the soldiers to stay. Maybe also from the World War II time period, I think, or older. But I'm guessing this all looks like World War II stuff to me. Yeah, look at that. These bolts here have been holding the ladder on through like that. And then look, the ladder's been on them at the top. So that is some remains of the history that's still left. And it's super cool. We'll take a look in here first before we look at like the bases of these buildings. Wow, a cool bit of history there. It looks like this the side of a urinal or something. It's like, it must have been the toilet block. Insane. Yeah, check this out, folks. Here's another one. Look, it's got the same numbers. Look. Oh, this one's 1918. So I wonder if that's a year or if literally like it's a, I don't even know what it would be, folks. It could be something related to the building. Maybe the parts was numbered. Maybe this is part 18 and part 19. And then look, you can see there's been maybe some sort of frame attached at this end. Because there's a mark there, or that could be from the wooden shuttering when they bolted it together. When they were pouring it, often there was holes from where they bolted it through. I learned that from a subscriber, so shout out. people that get in the comments often are helpful to share more information. And you can see, look, there's been square shuttering, the way the light's shining on it, you can tell. Yeah, look at this one, folks. It's got water on the floor of it. There is a heap of sticks and stuff falling into the room. Wow, I'll get a picture of this as well. So there we go, folks. I got a couple of pictures of this as well. It's like so cool to keep finding new stuff like this just hidden in the countryside. And like last weekend, we weren't even thinking about this place having so much. When we drove past after the Edzell Airfield, we were looking over this way and we spotted a couple of air raid shelters and stuff, and that's how we knew it was such a cool place to come and have a look. Yeah, I didn't even know there would be this much. We've seen so much already, and I wouldn't have even thought we're like halfway around this whole section. Check out here. There's a base to like a building or something. Old stonework. Nature's just taken back over. Oh aye. That's been a bit of like a pipe or something like that. It's maybe a bit of an old missile. Wow. This has been a big building here. This is how I was thinking it could be like barracks or something. Yeah, look, the whole...
When they're getting peeled on that.
Yeah, there's total threads and stuff sticking out of the ground, folks. It just shows there's been stuff mounted all around here. It's been a busy kind of area. It must have been to do with the original airfield, like. Wow. I'm just going to walk around the perimeter of this big building here, folks, and just see if there's cool, like, steps or anything at one end. Here we go, this must have been where the entrance came in. I'm also just keeping my eyes peeled across the forest so we don't miss any abandoned history around this area. Yeah, look, you can see there's remains where the corner's been like busted off, and this must have been where there was like an entrance way in, maybe a couple of steps up, and then those two air raid shelters lead off that way, and they would have probably been in the centre of the compound, I would think, so it was easy for everybody to run to them in a quick time. Insane. Yeah, it looks like it's all just a big cement base at this side. But we'll go over and take a look at this. What must have been a toilet block. Look at this, folks. This must be like the lid into the septic tank or something like that, or a water tank. Crazy. It looks pretty fusty. There's the pipes coming in. Look, it must be the drains.
Well, look, they must lead into here,
yeah. Look, here's the drain pit, folks. Oh, aye. That's where that pipe has come from that we saw a minute ago then.
Aye.
Look at that, folks. Mechanisms of history. Look, there's been it's maybe just an oil drum that's been thrown in there.
That's a big slab to cover it.
Yeah. The old drain lid. And then look, the cool thing at this side, folks.
Yeah.
It's the old World War II urinal. Just think of the pilots and stuff that probably came back for a long flight and they were glad to stand here and relieve themselves. Yeah, I don't know if there was like a little window, they were probably looking out. I don't know how this area would have looked back then. They must have had some cover, but I'm not sure if they would have literally had trees and stuff. What a spot, folks. And we've been blessed with the weather today because the sun's shining and there's literally hardly any wind. Yeah, there's another building base or something over here. Let's just keep this adventure going, folks. Check the perimeter of this. It's weird because it's got these bits that like stick out. There was maybe like beams or something going up to support the roof. And these buildings have had a similar cement render on them, just like what we saw last week at the Edzell Airfield. This is how the walls would have looked with the red brick and then like the cement render. That seems to be the common airfield construction in Scotland. Look, there's a bit of a pipe there as well coming out of the ground. Check that out, folks. It's solid too. There could be proper like septic tanks or something under our feet right now. Look at this, folks. This is another building I think they could have been barracks blocks, but then you never know, they could have been canteens or anything. Or mess halls, did they not call them in the war? But this building here has got a strange shape, because it's got these cutouts at the side. And then look, there's a square here. And look, it's had an asbestos roof. This is like what we saw at other airfields as well recently. And then it's had this cool little building here. I wonder what this has been. See, there would have been an armoury and stuff in the place as well like this. It looks to me though like this building has never had a roof on it on this outer section. Oh, so this building here has always been separate to this. So there's maybe been, that's how it looks so weird there, it's maybe been separate little side buildings. That's the sort of history we love exploring, folks. Wow. It could have been anything, like a service shed with valves and stuff in it. Oh, look at this, there's been a lid there. And then check this out. There's another pipe coming out from below the ground here. This is insane. So the whole thing here has been a building. I wonder if it's been like a, I don't know, like a fuel pumping shed or something. See the way the bolts come out around the edge of the building? That would have held the big, like, walls together. But I would say it looks to me like there's some sort of tank under the ground here. And I'm not sure if there's been valves or something or controls in that little shed. Also, some of these buildings, I'm not sure if they had Nissan huts around the place. Yeah. It looks like there is, that's similar to, it looks like that has been the same as that at one time. I wonder if it's been a symmetrical thing. And then look, it's like there's been more stuff here, but potentially it's just been dumped here. But that could be literally like bits of a plane or something lying in there. This is crazy, folks. World War II abandoned wonders. Oh, look at this here too. This could have been dumped as well though at a later time. Could be a bit of farm equipment or something. Because for a long time after the war, a lot of these buildings were just redundant and people just saw them as an eyesore. They didn't think of like the ancient history which was getting ruined, and that's just because it was so soon after the war. And they didn't really want to just keep all these buildings in full order. Sometimes farmers and stuff like kept using buildings if they were on their areas, but sometimes buildings like this just go to ruin and go to waste. This is all that's left. So I can see there's a private residence over at this side, folks, and one of their sheds at their garden is actually one of the original World War II sheds. It must have still been kept in good order. Yeah, there's a lot of scrap and stuff lying under the leaves. This is the sort of place in the summer you might not be able to see as much because it'll be all kind of overgrown with the greenery and the shrubbery. Anyway, folks, let's continue this mission on, because I think we could see a pillbox or something at the far side of these trees. So let's keep this mission going. The adventure is real once again, folks, on the channel. And it is funny how this whole building's been flattened, but like that one urinal has been left. And I don't know if it was somebody leaving it as a momentum of history, or just literally that this bit of wall's got unlucky to survive by all the trees and stuff falling around it. So here we are, folks. We're now at the other side of this like track leading through the ground here, and yeah, there's a concrete block there, but also look, there's another one of these drains which that shows there's a whole underwater drainage system around here. And I think this must have been kind of barracks buildings of some sort with the shape of them and that. So there's another one here, folks. It's like a concrete foundation, and it's about the same size and shape as the ones at the other side. And once again, look, you can see the threads sticking up.
See the floor on this one.
Yeah, the old cement. It's probably had some sort of tiles or something on it. Look, this one's got something in the middle. What is this, folks? Yeah, so this building has got this here. And it's not a square, look, it's the sides of it are like angled like that. So anybody that knows about the history of like items like that, even if you know what the buildings are and stuff, it's like there's often details within them that's like just lost. Kind of modern technology moves on. Yeah, the original walls fallen in. And look, it has had a bit sticking out at this end. Here, I wonder if this was, I don't know, like if the Nissan huts had like solid cement floors like that, but it's like about the size of a Nissan hut, where you would have come probably in the door here and then up the steps and then you would go. Yeah, there's some other stuff lying about over here, but I think it's more just stuff that's been left over the years. That's got more of those red stones there with the cement veneer over it. Look at that, folks. At Edzell Airfield, all the cement veneer and that was long gone, but I think the buildings here have been more sheltered under the trees. Yeah, this could just be like farm debris here for like a more new time. I don't think that's a pair of wheels off a Spitfire. It's strange how this bit of ground here is just open. Look, there is more scrap over there. There's like a wheel and stuff. Look at this, folks. Here's another square section. And this is weird how nothing grows. It's like sometimes an area like that could be at an airfield if it was like maybe the runoff for the sewage. But or maybe if a plane had crashed or something nearby, sometimes the aircraft fuel stopped the grass growing. But I don't think that's what it is here. Look at this strange bit in the ground here, folks. Oh, look. Wow. Real history, folks. This is like a bit of a sink or another one of these toilets or whatever. I was going to dig it out to have a look, see what it was. Look at that, a bit of history. There's the thing out of the drain. That's cemented into this building, so that shows this is another toilet block, folks. World War II. So maybe that area there is a soak away of some sort. And here's another one of these epic air raid shelters, folks. Yeah, this one says 1918 on the front of it as well, folks. So I don't know, would that be built in 1918, or do you think it was just, that's the numbers of the sections when they built it?
I was thinking the numbers at first, like, yeah.
Because look, there's a number down here too. Look, 20 something, is it?
I think that would be 17.
Who knows, folks? Get in the comments if you know more about that, because it does say there 1918. I'm not sure. Yeah, this one's got a lot of water as well, but let's document the history, folks. See what we can see. This is crazy. Wow, what is that in there? Is that an animal? Here, I'm sure there's something moving in there. No, unless this stick is seriously that long. I'm going to pull this stick and see, look. Oh, it is. I see when I stood on the stick, folks. That started moving at the other end and I freaked out. I thought there was a nail or something in there. Crazy. Yeah, well, I've got that on my hand now. Look, here's a bit of interesting history. The old door frame is still on there. That's how it's worth recording and stuff like that. Channel DJs at the other end of here, folks. Oi! The acoustics in a place like this is crazy. You can see how it's been built in sections, like precast. So they could have made these as long as they wanted, and then they would have probably put the end parts on it. Then they've just cemented it together. Now because of the dampness, it's all, the rebar's expanding with the corrosion, popping it all out. Look, there's another one of those things that, it's like a vent looking thing. And that's the same as the thing that was lying over there. So not unless that was some metal thing, which used to be on the roof here. Like a metal vent of some sort. Yeah, these trees here on top of this is massive. And that shows how long it has been here. Just shows you it could be 1918 that this was built. This is maybe a World War I area here. Which, it wouldn't be surprising if it was. It's just I didn't know they made cement precast structures like this in World War I. So at this end of the airfield, the air raid shelter, you can see it's got these bolts And that's, like I saw earlier, they would have held a ladder on. It would have been an emergency escape probably, so if one end of the shelter got flattened with a bomb, then they could easily escape at this end and run if they survived the blast. But also that's what that wall was for, so if there was a bomb blast anywhere, the force of the explosion didn't come in and do damage to the occupants of the base. Because it just shows you there was wooden doors on there, there weren't any like metal doors and stuff, judging by what we saw through the door frames. Look at this, folks, this is absolutely incredible. This is one of the old windows out of this building which is behind me. We've not looked at this structure yet, well, what's been a structure, but it shows how long, look, this tree's grown right through it. And this trees have been here for a long time. That is insane. Somebody's probably thrown that over the tree when it was a wee tree. Now look at it, here's the original wall. This has been a tall building. Oh, no, unless the wall was falling that way though, right enough. Yeah. It's like it's had separate rooms here. This has been a bigger building than those other ones, I would say. But then I could be wrong, it's maybe about the same. Sometimes there was obviously like officers' quarters separate to like the normal soldiers. Massive chunks of history just abandoned in the wood, folks. Look at this, folks. In this building, look, more remains of what must have been a urinal or a toilet block. So maybe a lot of these were toilet blocks for people stationed at the airfield here. Yeah, there's like, it's a cement kind of shape cast in on the floor. It's almost like a cement frame. But that's the same as what we saw in that other building, which must be identical to this one. And it's got this bit here as well, look. Look at that, folks, it's got that, it's like a square, but it slopes around at the edges. Look at that there, the shape of it. Unusual. And I wonder if some of this, see here, I wonder if this is original glass from these windows in this building. Cool, folks, look at this, an old bit of cable. Look at that, folks. Oh look, there's been a power cable of some sort here. That's maybe not such old history, a thing like that though. And then look, I noticed another historical artefact here, folks. So cool, finding all these little things just hidden all in one area. Look, that could be a sign that there's been a pole of some sort here as well. Maybe communications or anything like that. From the wartime period, they did have like masts and stuff like that all over. And it is insane. I keep noticing more little details. I'm walking back and forward, but I've noticed this pipe here sticking out. Oh look, not only that pipe, that's interesting, but look on the wall here. Look, it's had a little bracket of some sort. That must have been to hold wires. That's the sort of little details I love to see. It's like, just think when those screws and stuff were put in, what sort of cables was like on there, and what communications went through those cables. Like, it's all wartime history, just almost forgotten and lost forever. Look at this, folks, we've made it along to this next artefact of history. This is the one we could see through the main road. And it's such a cool pillbox looking structure, but from the openings it's no like other pillboxes that I've seen, because it looks to me like this one here has like massive openings. That's how we cross the fence, folks. We'll always come doing no damage to anybody's property. We'll always explore with the greatest respect, and stuff like this is some of our favourite to come and see. It's incredible. Just think when all this was built, now it's just abandoned, folks. Mother Nature's taken back over here, and it's insane. Probably at one time it had been covered over by earth or something like we can see here. There's still some remains of it. Probably when the storms and stuff, all that'll be coming off, getting washed off. Look, Finlay, what does that say on there? Hamilton. Finlay, Hamilton, those bricks come from, folks, so you can get an idea of where the supplies came from when they built this. And then look at this, the shadows at a poor angle, folks, but just check out this entrance coming in. It's like lower than the ground level. Maybe that was the original ground level when it was built. And then, yeah, wow, I'm standing in water and stuff. This is so cool, folks. It's in good condition, it's clean. It looks like somebody has dug it out. And look, this central pillar must be supporting it. See, this is similar to what I saw at the Glen Shee pillbox. And then it looks like at a later date they had built a blast wall onto it. Because a lot of them had a blast wall. That's how this is unusual. This is more like an observation bunker rather than a shooting bunker. Yeah, and look, see the way that this has been run? It's like there's been a desk or a platform right the way around there. But if they were observing stuff, it is unusual because, well, they can look all around obviously, but they can't observe the sky. And you would think they'd be worried about planes and stuff, but from what I can see, this looks like an observation pillbox, like. Yeah. But I've never seen one with this construction. So cool, folks. Normally, here it's almost like it's unfinished. Because normally they would have cement shaped here so that it would ricochet the bullets away. Where oh look, this one here does have, look, a circle in the middle. So it's like something's been mounted there. See, they've maybe had range finders or something.
Here as well. Yeah, these three.
Yeah, so there you go, folks. Who knows? It could have genuinely had machine guns in it, but from what I've seen with machine gun nests, they always have shaped stone to ricochet the bullets. Whereas this one's just bare stone. You can see where the cement has been poured onto the wooden panelling as well when they built it. The classic military construction of a bunker. Pillbox bunker. Look at that, the bit of wood there. It's like it's intentionally been made like that for them connecting on something. Wow. From a place like this, they were able to look back towards that airfield that we just explored, those buildings and stuff. It is absolutely insane. Wow. What more can I say, folks? It's crazy just to keep finding and documenting new stuff like this that I've never seen before. The adventure to get to a place like this is often the cool thing. We could see this from the road, but like trying to get to it, we didn't know we would find so much cool random history just hidden in the wood from a time gone by. But yeah, I'm going to get a couple of pictures of this now before I vacate the property. So get in the comments, folks, whatever you think a place like this was. Could have been range finding or target finding, or it could have been a defensive bunker of the airfield, maybe directing other defences from the airfield. Kind of if they were ever getting attacked from the ground rather than the air. But from the shape of the entrance and stuff, I get the feeling there's been a lot more like earth and stuff around this side. But it is crazy how they can look out all directions. This is insane, folks. We'll take a little walk around the perimeter here and just take a look at the back of this. It looks like all this stuff's just farm debris that's been dumped. Yeah, what a cool sight this is. I love seeing stuff like that. It's just, at one time it was a structure of like such importance and we would get shot for being around here. Now we can just come and document it and see what's left. I was curious to look at this side of the bunker though, to see if there was any remains of like something to ricochet bullets and stuff, and there really is nothing. If anything, it's like the bullets would get in there easier than a normal pillbox. That's how I wonder if there's been something else mounted on these metal bits. That tree's just slowly destroying it though, and parts of that brick's just super loose. That's why it's cool to document history like this though, so it's like saved in a way on the video. The next generation can see how it looks like if it does fall down overnight. So look at this, folks. This is like such a thickness of earth they've put up here. And I was just having a look to make sure I've missed no details, but this is insane. It looks like there's been an animal or something lying up here. Look at this, I'm going to scrape right down through. Oh look, there's a coat in there or something. What is that? Oh folks, a leather pouch or something. Wonder if it's some ancient wartime history, folks. Yeah, I think it's just been a plastic bag or something that's down there. Who knows, maybe somebody's buried treasure there years ago. It is strange though how there's that big dip in the middle. That's what made me inquisitive when I saw it there, but yeah, it is interesting. I was really wanting to see if it had some of that like bitumen coating like what we saw in last week's bunkers. But it doesn't seem to. It's just been a cement roof. It almost looks unfinished. So who would know, folks? Maybe by the end of World War II or something, they didn't need stuff like that. But they maybe started to construct it. So cool, folks. Anyway, on with this historical adventure. That's been the coolest thing we've seen yet, folks. I just walked into this spiky bush, check it out. Thorns on that thing. Yeah, I'll be able to get out over here. Crazy scenes once again, folks. And just look at that scene there. One of those bunkers, the character. I often wondered myself like what I mean by the character of an abandoned building, but it's the way the nature just starts growing back over it. It is just such a scene. Look at this, folks. We've come up the other side of this boundary of the airfield that we were at the other side of earlier, and look, there's this cool plinth here, which must have been a small structure in the war. It seems to be a lot of this older wartime history here is on the kind of outside of the fence line of the newer airfield. So I'm not sure if until the mid-90s they used that whole bit, because I think the little exterior fence is like the British World War II fence, or that's what I was thinking, but then all this stuff's outside it. But I think the big high double-sided fence has definitely been the American Cold War time defensive fence. But stuff like this, that's had a purpose. At airfields like this, they probably had flak and like anti-aircraft gun positions, and they would have had searchlights and stuff like that as well. And you just don't know where stuff like that would have been mounted. But there's just so many buildings now where it's just the base, the plinth of something, a historical thing of history. And we've found so much today just walking around this wood. Yeah, it's so interesting, folks. It's cool to share this history with the world before it's buried below all this greenery and moss which we're climbing through. There seems to be big chunks of metal and stuff just lying all over here. Look at this metal here. I don't know if it's been World War II or just a bit of tin that's blown with the wind. Look at that, there's bits of stuff just all around. So we've just come around the other side again of what we saw a minute ago. We like that whole barracks area and stuff. And in this boys' field, look, there's another whole section with a similar size of building and another one of these air raid shelters, and it just shows you this must have been a massive site at RAF Edzell here back in the day. It's cool to just see all these nuggets of history hidden from that time frame and like ask the question. It's the sort of thing I love to see what's there and then research it more, and then next time I come I update the history with an in-depth discussion of what everything is and what everything did, and it's pretty cool. Always exploring new land like this today. It's so exciting because you didn't know what's around the corner, and today it's been the same, finding so many different buildings and stuff hidden in the wood. Oh wait, look at that, folks. There's a deer's skull with the horns still on it. Look at that, folks. Wow. Yeah, so this final bit of history at the corner of this boy's field, there's another one of those blast walls with cement air raid shelter, and you can see the emergency escape. It's had a lot of farm debris and stuff dumped, but yeah, super cool. that could have been a bit of it as well. Before it was like a farm or whatever, that could have been a bit of the early airfield, which we've seen the history of today. A lot of those latrines and stuff and all the toilet like blocks and all that, they'll be from an ancient time, 1940s, maybe older. That could have been 1918 on those bunkers as well, which is World War One. Yeah, maybe this could have been, what were you thinking of, like a muddy runway?
Look at the grass and that, it's all...
Yeah. So many years have passed, folks, it's just so cool to just see what is left. And this is the main road. We were driving down the road and we noticed all this history, folks. That's a cool thing with Scotland, there's a lot of history just everywhere you look. It's like, wow, what is that? And then boom, it's like time travelling back to like World War II when you see all that, and you imagine how it all was. It's just insane. And this landscape, it's just incredible on a day like this.